Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 2022 Scrabble Players Championship. This is about to be Game 3 of the finals. I'm Morris Greenberg, and I'm here with Annette Oberstadt.
Hello, I'm really excited to watch some more amazing Scrabble. We had some great two games already, and I'm sure we're in for a treat here with those two players playing another game.
Yeah, and we see the tiles being squared up now. The players, I think, have had time to try to think about their past two games, set their mind for the next 2 or 3 games. And as a reminder, this is the best 3 of 5 finals, so it's right now split 1-1. Ori Swift won the first game big. Michael had a big lead in the second game. Ori, tried clawing his way back, almost got there, but Michael held out to win. So we will have at least 2 more games because 3 wins will be required to clinch the title. So if someone wins the next 2, they will be the champion. But if the next 2 games are split, we will play a 5th game as a tiebreaker.
Yeah, and like I said in the beginning, I'm just rooting for as many games as possible, as much Scrabble as possible, because this is quality content right here.
Yeah, so I believe Ori Swift will go first in this game. He went first in round 1. Michael went first in round 2. Yeah, at this point, one storyline to monitor is Ori did play 2 phonies last game. We think intentionally. I mean, we know the last one was
The
intentional at
last
the
one
end of the
was
game.
definitely intentional, yeah.
But we talked with him a bit after the game, and he also said he would have tried flat boater or flat boated. And part of this is because early on in the tournament, we've seen Michael be hesitant to challenge invalid words. And we'll see if Michael has learned that Ori didn't only phony him at the end with kind of a silly phony, that if he somehow didn't remember that a word that looked invalid was valid and he challenged, then he would have given a win to Ori, so it wouldn't have been correct to challenge that. If he notices Ori did phony, possibly intentionally, at an earlier point of the game, Michael might now be more willing to challenge, seeing that Ori thinks he can get away with phonies.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see now if Ori will maybe shy away from trying to play phonies, knowing that Michael probably knows this.
Yeah, so it's a tough decision to make, but it looks like Ori is drawing tiles at the moment, so we will
Yep, looks like we're
shortly
good to go.
see. So it looks like he's getting some synergy here. You always like REP has some good leave value, so it looks like he'll be close to stuff, but won't
Yeah,
quite
pretty
hit
close, but
bingo.
not quite there. Question is here, do you want to play short, maybe keep a better lead, or do you want to score more points?
Yeah, so the play as set up is the play I would probably make, POW.
Yeah, see, I
POW.
would lean towards that as well, but I know a lot of players would probably go for something like Plower instead.
Yeah, plow or maybe replowed a double. The W, if you're not scared of the ing
Yeah,
extension for replowing.
yeah, see, I
So
wouldn't be sure of replows, I would probably play Plower.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things where if you studied plowers and
Then
replows,
you would know, right?
then you
Yeah,
would know. But
yeah.
so Ori is
So
electing to
he
play
does go for
longer.
Plower.
And we saw from his interview, he is aware of these sort of extension type plays. He played Platy at the beginning of the game, and he said, I could maybe get Platypus. Oh, well, Michael's already playing a bingo, so we should just talk about that. So he's playing Infernal.
That's a nice find there. He saw that very
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah, I think he was probably going through the letters that it would make eights with, waiting for Ori to make a play, and saw
Yeah,
the L.
yeah.
Uh, and
Don't you love when that
yes,
happens? You're like
yeah,
mentally noting all of the letters that you know you can hit an 8 with, and then it comes down and you just play it right away.
yeah. So this will be interesting. I mean,
Yeah, I
Ori.
was gonna say, interesting rack here for Ori. He doesn't have any huge plays that would actually hit the triple that I can see.
Well, the star play I think is probably Hafiz through the F in
Oh,
Infernal. So
that's really
Hafiz
nice.
is
Yeah,
one of those hefty 5-letter words.
yeah.
I
That's a
I don't.
pretty tough word to see.
Yeah, I think Ori. I mean, yeah, you're definitely drawn to the triple right away,
I
but
think
I
seeing
think
that word is easier if you have the full word on your rack than it is playing it through one of the letters on the board.
yeah, I'm guessing Ori will eventually see it after he stares through.
Yeah, I can see him taking a little bit of time on this turn.
Yeah, and Michael has picked up a blank here, so it's likely he will get a bingo soon. Now we have seen him miss bingos with Y's, I think, in the past few
Yeah, those
games.
are tough. Those are very tough to see.
Yeah, so we'll see. I think he is, and especially understood when he was playing for spread towards the end of the tournament. I'm not sure how long he'll look for a bingo here versus saving mental energy and just trying to play off the Y
Yeah,
for valuable points. But Ori does find Hafiz blocking Nini, which I think Michael had set up on his rack.
nice.
So that will be 60 points, and Ori retakes the lead even though Michael already bingoed. So that just goes to tell you that you don't need to bingo to outrun your opponent. Just make the best play you can. And so this does still leave Insanity, and I guess Michael does see it. So good find.
Yep, very
So
nice, very nice.
so Insanity comes down for 92 points, and
Yeah, and that's a pretty common word as well, even though it has a Y in it. It's usually those trickier words that have a Y in the middle of the word that are really tough to find.
yeah, it's basically if you've studied it, then you're good.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
haven't, then
right.
whatever. Shrug
Yeah.
emoji. Uh, so Ori has picked up the second blank in the meantime. So even though he is down, he's definitely not out. A word like lunkhead, I think Ori could definitely find that through the N in Infernal. Uh, that
Yeah,
I'm
words like
guessing.
that are what separates players like me from players like them, because I would not know that.
Yeah, lunkhead. Yeah, there's a great study tool online called Aerolith. One of the creator of it, Cesar, has been in the chat all day, and I've just seen that word before on that site, where you basically get a ton of 7s and 8 letter words, and you have to unscramble them. So I've definitely seen. So I would know that there was an 8 letter word in those letters, and then I would eventually remember it's lunkhead. It's not
Yeah,
like unhalked or something
yeah,
weird.
yeah. Yeah, there is another bingo available as well, Keel Hall, which I also do not know.
Yeah, well, Ori is finding Lunkhead now, so
Very
this will
nice.
be a very close game. And both blinks are out. An S has been played, the Z's been played. So now it's all about making the most of the middle and low scoring tiles.
Yeah, players are playing extremely fast this game as well.
Yeah, and this board has a lot of possibilities. We've seen in past games where if there's been only one half of the board being used, it could create a really tight game. But a play like Plower just leaves things very open. There's a lot of possibilities to just play through letters, play under, right, the E and the R maybe. So I think this board can develop in all sorts of ways, and it'll be interesting to see if either's going how much they'll consider that in different play choices here.
Yeah, it's cool to see a bit more of an open board. I feel like there's just more that can happen, more action, more fun for us to watch.
Yeah, so Michael had audio set up. I'm not sure if he saw the spot below the ANITY in Insanity, because that looks really strong. But maybe he's
Yeah, that
considering.
would fit perfectly there. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's playing that now. Really
Yeah.
nice job.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, sometimes it can be hard to find those spots when there's a blank there because it's easy to sort of miss what the blank is and not seeing exactly what goes next to it.
Yeah, so that will give him a 29-point lead, and Ori now has the ugly UV combo, but some pretty good letters aside from that. Although he does have the G, which multiple people on stream have said how much they dislike the G.
Yeah, I'm not as much of a G hater as some people are, but I still wouldn't exactly say I like it.
Yeah, I think G is a tile that, like, if you were to plot a person's rating and how much they dislike the G, I feel like after a certain rating, for whatever reason, I feel like experts have always been burned by the G at one point, and it's just like
Yeah, yeah,
never
yeah.
again.
Yeah. I think in certain cases it can be a pretty decent tile, but I do err towards maybe playing it off faster than some people would.
So it looks like he has Mung set up now. I think that would go below the YO in Insanity and Audio to make Yom.
Yeah, that's maybe a little risky. I don't know if I would make a play like this early on with the scores being the way they are.
Yeah, so now he has Nutmeg. I'm not sure where that would go immediately. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm not seeing a spot for nutmeg.
a really cool option is Unmeet through the E in
Ah,
Infernal.
yeah, that would be a
That
really nice fit.
Yeah, so that would make three two-letter words, including
Mm-hmm.
which is one of those ones when you first start studying your words and you learn the twos. I feel like when I like said how I learned the twos is I said them out loud, and I would always
Mm-hmm.
accidentally skip and so HM and
Yeah.
MM,
Yeah,
just because I only think at first the vowels.
there's also play of Vum in the same spot, which definitely leaves better, but it does give back a possibly higher scoring spot. But it's also not that easy to make a big play there with a V. So I don't know. I might err towards playing Vum there.
Yeah, so it looks like he's considering a lot of things. I mean, this is a position where if you don't have a standout play and the board has a lot of flexibility, you could do all sorts of things. And I think
Mm-hmm.
he just realizes he should take his time here and try to think about what are my objectives, what play gets closest to optimizing that.
Mm-hmm. So he does end up going with Mung here.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean,
Yeah, I think that's
VET isn't a
probably
bad
fine.
leave.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Michael now finds the bingo that Ori has given him. If you know nosedive, the
Yeah.
past tense of nosedove is valid.
Yep, I have
So,
missed that before.
so it looks like he hasn't arranged him. We've seen Michael in his two bingos he's gotten. He played them immediately.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think he's going to see this one, though.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I
Mm-hmm.
hope he sees it because I think that would make for an interesting game. And you always want in the finals the players to play as great as possible.
Of course.
But he's not he's not seeing it already. And I think once you see it, there isn't that much else to consider.
Yeah. So if he doesn't see it, what options do you see for him here?
Yeah. I'm wondering if he's separating out the DOE
Oh,
to
he
play
sees it.
Doge. He
He
sees
sees
Nose
it.
Dove.
Yeah,
Good for
nice.
him.
Great play. Man,
So
these players really are fantastic. Like they're showing why they are in the finals.
yeah, so a great find. I'm sorry for doubting you, Michael. I will never doubt you again. But that gives Michael a bit over a bingo lead, 73 points.
Yeah.
And so now Ori has to really think about how to quickly get back in this one.
Yeah, he just needs to keep scoring points to just keep within a bingo range at least.
Yeah, and so Michael does have a nice pull there. Lubies is a valid word. He has it set up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure it plays
Yeah, I was
anywhere
gonna
just
say, I
because
mean,
nose
obviously no
dove.
stove does not take an S.
Yeah, so we'll see if Ori gives him a spot. Although I'm guessing Ori is going to naturally gravitate towards the triple Michael opened up.
Yeah, that definitely seems like the best spot on the board. I might just want to play EM here. next to the DO and no stove.
Yeah, I'm guessing. So Ori has that separated out now. He might just go with that.
Yeah, that
Uh,
seems very reasonable.
yeah, he's playing it now.
Yeah.
So, so if you're Michael here, I'm gonna guess you're also gonna play short just because you have really good letters, not because that's the only
Yeah.
thing that fits in the spot.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'd be looking to play off like BOO or something like that.
yeah, so Obe
Yeah,
off
Ope
of the
underneath
H
half
and
fees, that looks pretty good.
yeah, so I think I'm guessing he'll play something like that, and we'll see then if Michael. So there are some G's out. I'm just noticed Loeb could right if he
Hmm.
played Loeb for whatever reason. He won't this turn, but
Right, yeah, I
if he
don't think he
picks
would
up a
do that.
G at
Uh-huh.
some point, it would be cool to make Obe to Loeb to set up Globe at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
So, although I don't think, yeah, I don't think that will happen most likely. You won't normally drop your L down for 6 to set up Globe. It's kind of stylish, but when you're winning, you don't want to play for style over equity and just good play.
Yeah, I mean, there could end up being a point later on in the game where something like that could definitely happen, but I think it's a little too early.
Yeah.
Also, we should keep an eye on the YOM here for the P hook. That would score quite a few points.
Yeah. Wait. Where for the P hook?
For
Sorry.
Yomp,
Oh,
YOM.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
there's
yes.
only one P left, but still, it's a pretty decent
Well,
scoring spot.
well, Ori has it right now, so
Oh,
he
yeah,
could.
that's true. I
So
didn't even see that. Wow. So he could play something like Veep, maybe.
yeah, Veep is a really nice idea. Yeah, I think Yomp is one of the newer additions to the NWL dictionary, so I don't always register it in my
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
It's always difficult when there are dictionary updates and you think you remember the hooks to things. I remember the word VLEI was added at some point, so I
Yeah.
played LEI, not realizing I could give my opponent an insane play. I
Yeah,
for the V
yeah.
and just missed it, so I
Well, at least
lucked
your
out.
opponent didn't have it.
Yeah, so yeah, I always need to be careful about those newer words.
Yeah, that makes me kind of glad that I haven't been into the game for long enough to have gone through that many dictionary changes.
Yeah, well, it always changes the game in interesting
Yeah.
ways, and so Michael does play Obe. I think
Yep.
that makes a lot of sense there.
Yeah, I think so too.
And so we'll see if Ori plays Veep here. It is a lot of points.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
So, yeah,
He could
Veep.
also play something like repave down to the triple.
Yeah, that's pretty. So that's off of the
That's
E and
also
nose
yeah,
dove.
that's also going to be a lot of points.
Yeah, so repave. He might go that route just because it opens up more stuff, and including ER off of right. Yeah, when he's laying it down now, I think this is a really nice idea.
Yeah.
Um, so it scores 44. It opens up a lot of lanes at the bottom, and ER as a 9-letter lane is pretty findable, especially for someone like Ori. So I think this is a very good idea to start to develop the bottom part of the board and close the scoring gap by 35 points.
Yeah, and I think this is a spot where, depending on if you're up or down in the game, is going to make that decision for you which word you would probably play.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. So, but yeah, Yomp would have been a cool play there, and I wonder if Ori was thinking about that when he even played Monk.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he was probably aware of it.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess you need to make sure that Michael isn't that likely to hold a P when he plays audio.
Yeah.
But,
well, it's tough. We can't really know that.
Yeah, I would also just like. I was wondering for a second if Lunkhead took a front P, but no, Lunkhead is not
That'd be
valid.
great.
So in the meantime, Michael looks like he has the L and the U separated right now from the rest of his rack. So I'm wondering if he's going to play Lug maybe off of the G in Mung. That
That
seems
would
like
be
a
a pretty
fine
decent
play.
option, yeah.
It seems like
He
a
does
fine
have
play,
higher
but
scoring options too if you wanted to play up some more
yeah,
tiles, but I wouldn't be mad about just keeping good leave here.
I think it gives Ori a real shot of coming back, though, is the issue I
Yeah.
see with it. It's only 12 points, and you're only up, even though you got one more bingo down and you felt like you had a bingo lead, Ori has been scoring, and now he's only down. I said 35. It's actually 25 points. I misdid the mental math. So uh, taking only 12 points is.
Yeah.
It's a big sacrifice
It
point
might be a
wise.
little too fishy in this spot.
And I mean, yeah, I know luge in the same spot is a play that you don't want to get rid of an E. There have been a lot of E's played already,
Hmm.
but and so now he's going for a bit higher scoring. It looks like maybe I think to the P he's looking at coup,
Hmm.
COUP.
Yeah.
So that will score 16 instead of 12 and keep
Yeah,
an
that
even
looks
more
pretty
bingo
good.
friendly leave.
And it also
But
doesn't open any lanes.
yeah, but again, I mean Ori. It could allow Ori to come back in the game when you start making these smaller point plays. I'm wondering
Yeah.
if like Sluice and Lunkheads, Sluice, would be a different idea. That would score 31 instead.
Yeah,
And
I think that's worth probably burning the S for.
yeah, so I might do something like that. So, but we'll see how Michael tries to play
Hmm.
this year. Ori does have all consonants, so Michael likely won't get too burnt by playing short here and going for a bingo.
Yeah, I think
But
if he knew Ori's rack, he probably would play a fishier play. So he does end up going with Coop. I think that's totally fine.
yeah, I think that's it's fine. He is lucky that Ori happened to draw all consonants here.
Hmm.
And for Ori, I mean, it's not the worst case scenario here. You can make also a 16-point play of Tati, for instance,
Yeah.
with the O Michael just played, and he's actually playing bot
Hmm.
BOTT. I think he probably likes the CRTY leave a bit better.
Hmm.
But it does create a Tav spot. But no, I
Yeah.
don't think that's that play. Uh, so Michael does have denials now, and he has that set
Oh, and
up.
that's gonna play. Yeah. Yeah, Ori
So I
gave him a
think,
nice spot for that.
yeah, yeah, it's always tough in these situations. I mean, if Ori also played the Y, like if he played Tati, for instance,
Hmm.
Michael would have had Plowers and Snailed,
Oh
anyways.
yeah.
So he would have been in great shape. But
That
yeah,
wouldn't be
this is
as good of a bingo though.
yeah. So it's going to be a tough position for Ori. He drew three more consonants, so I think after this one, Michael is going to be in pretty great shape to take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's just one of those games for Ori. I mean, sometimes you just keep getting bad racks after bad racks, and there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what he's thinking about here. It looks like he's moving around his tiles a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh,
So he's going to play Snailed. So I think this
interesting.
is
So is he maybe just not sure about the S hook on bots?
possibly this is an interest. It's interesting. I think
Yeah,
he
I would
maybe
love to
doesn't.
hear the thought process here.
We might be able to ask him.
Yeah. I mean, because he obviously saw denials.
Yeah, so I think it's just denials will open up a bingo spot often. So if
Yeah.
we can
I
go to
mean, he's still
Quackle Corner
opening up
quickly,
bingo lanes by doing this, though.
that would be great. So Snailed versus denials there. So Snailed, yeah, it gives back bingo lanes like to the E, to the D,
Hmm.
A and I are some floaters too, but denials would open up a crazy, or not crazy, but another easy to hit bingo lane for seven. So he might
Yeah.
think, Michael might think after a play like bot BOTT, or he could be keeping an S there. He could be
Hmm.
having good uh, bingo tiles. So, anyways, let's flip back because it looks
Yeah,
like
that's
Ori's
interesting.
rearranging his letters.
I don't know. I don't even think I would have thought of that. I would have just played denials right away.
Well, this
It
is
just
why
seems like a
Michael's
lot of
at board
points.
one.
Yeah, yeah. It just seems like a lot of points to sacrifice, but what do I know?
It's 8 points. So
Yeah, I mean, that's still 8 points.
yeah, for
Yeah, I
sure.
don't know.
So I mean, always in these situations. So if you're 8 point difference, that's the immediate turn. You then
Hmm.
have to think, could my opponent get more than 8 points back?
Yeah.
And it looks like I don't think Gyric is valid, but I think he's just going to play it, and we'll see if Michael folds.
And it doesn't look like it's held either.
So,
I mean, gyric is a
well,
pretty plausible word. I don't know if I would be able to challenge that.
yeah, wow. So Michael lets Gyric go. Uh,
Yeah.
Great competitive spirit by Ori here. I think it's
Hmm.
totally the right idea to get rid of all those tiles. And if he has a good pull here, yeah, that could be a very pivotal moment. But we see Michael has most of the vowels
Yeah, it
left.
looks like
So
he got more consonants and a J.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate. Yeah, Michael has drawn most of the consonants at this point, especially the E's. That Ori desperately needs. But Ori has a beautiful word set up. It's one of those weird Scrabble words. Gyttja. I always forget where the J
Oh,
goes in that
wow.
word, but he
Yeah.
has
Oh
that
my
set
God.
up.
I
So
have
Michael
never seen that
plays.
played in a game.
Yeah. So Michael plays QI for
Ah,
25
that is
pretty quickly,
beautiful.
and I mean Michael will have the lead here for sure. But
Yeah, but
wow.
wow, that's such a pretty find. Lovely.
Yeah, what a great idea. And I mean, now Ori scores enough there that he just needs to bingo to come back. I mean, Michael happens to draw all the good bingo tiles right here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he needs a
we'll
really good
see.
draw to have a chance. And this board is getting really cluttered too.
Yeah, although the J makes it so if Michael needs to decide between whether he
To
blocks
block the T
bingos,
or the A,
the
right?
T or the A. Yeah,
Yeah.
most of the
He could
time.
maybe find a play down from the Q or the PI that would reach far enough down.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely a kind of thing. And Ori's drawing some pretty good letters. So he draws. So this is going to be interesting. I mean, Michael's definitely the favorite here, but Ori could
Mm-hmm.
find something that
Yeah,
could work out. There are 5 tiles in the bag, so Michael. Yeah, if I were Michael, I would. I
you would
really
probably
like that
try to empty
idea.
the bag here, right?
No, I don't think so.
Well, if you're able to block the bingo lanes, if you play something like Pilliate maybe down from the PI,
Yeah, that's
I'm not
interesting.
sure there's anything Ori can really do to win after that.
Well, I think Pilliate can take it back D. So
Yeah, it can.
this, so so the scenario to worry about in those sorts of situations is if you empty the bag and the X is in the bag, then you'll lose with the bingo for sure. Um,
No, but he's not going to be able to bingo after that
well, under if you
because
make
there's no.
Pillated and
Well, I mean,
A
good
and
luck
A,
hooking the D there and hooking the A at the end.
it's possible.
Eh,
I mean,
yeah, is it? I don't even know.
yeah, I like this idea of pilfer.
Hmm.
Although, yeah, you're right. Pilliate does take care of the A as well.
Right.
Uh, but pilfer wouldn't empty the bag, and so in the
Yeah.
scenario, like I think how you want to think about this is in the scenario where the X is in the bag, I can draw it and then get
Hmm.
another scoring play. And if the
Yeah.
X isn't in the bag, he's not going to be able to bingo.
Yeah.
So I like this idea of
That
pilfer,
seems pretty solid.
and so that will give him a lead. So we'll see if Ori can come up with some endgame sequence here. We saw Ori, not be able to quite close the gap in an endgame last time. It wasn't there. But given
Hmm.
that an X is playable for like more than 30 points, uh, he could make it an interesting endgame as Michael draws a lot of vowels. It looks like in the bag that will leave the other I.
Hmm.
So Ori, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Ori will definitely have to think here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Ori is just down too much to be able to come back from this. It's not like Michael's rack is so bad that he won't be able to maneuver a pretty decent endgame and score some points there.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's interesting. I guess if Michael drew the I and not the W, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, that would have maybe been a little bit different.
So I think if you're Ori here, though, the strategy is that you want to make a high-scoring play with the X this turn and hope you can go out the next turn with the one tile left in the bag.
Yeah.
Just because you think Michael can normally do an out in two, well, if you do an out in one, Michael can't do his out in two.
Right.
Right? So it probably won't be enough still, but I think that's the sort of thing Ori will look for here. Uh, and
Yeah.
so, and so, yeah, just if we could turn to Quackle for a minute, just to sort of instruct what Ori might be thinking here. So a play
Yeah,
like
Axel looks
Axel,
pretty good. I actually did see that.
yeah. So a play like
Especially
Axel,
with
which he has
what's in
set
the
up,
bag. Yeah, with what's in the bag, there's not really many things that's going to hurt him after playing that.
yeah. So the nice thing about that is DORS can pair with a lot of letters in the bag, and you might be able to then make a nice outplay right away. So, right, so like for instance, if he draws the I, I think aeroids is a word off of the A in Axel, AROIDS. If that isn't, then radios definitely is. But that would be an idea, and I think he has it set up now. Anyways, let's turn back to the live board as Ori continues to think about this a bit. So now his Axis, is he going to play that underneath, underneath making pilfers?
Pilfers, maybe. Yeah.
Or actually, this is an interesting idea. Is he considering pluralizing Yom, which I don't think takes an
Oh,
S
that
because
does
it's a
not take an
Hebrew
S.
word. It's
Well, he
Yomim.
might try it against Michael.
He might try Yoms.
Yeah, he might.
That's one
But then wouldn't
where,
playing like Oxids maybe being better?
yeah, Oxids probably would be slightly better. Yeah, I guess it depends on what letter, what letter he thinks could be in the bag.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that would be
Oxids.
interesting to see if he does try to pluralize Yom there.
So
Because I
I
don't even
mean,
think we've seen Michael hold any place yet.
yeah, I think that's right. Uh, though he does know Ori has done a phony four already in an end game. So
Yeah.
if the if the alarm bells are ringing at all there, I think Michael will quickly challenge that.
Right. I mean, I
But
kind of hope he plays it just because I just want to see what happens.
yeah, so Oxids. I mean, how many points is that even? That's going to be a
That's going to be a
bunch.
lot of points.
So let's just say that would be 46 points. So Axel's 38. So he might be evaluating. So now he has aeroid set up. Is he trying to set up the X in some way with that? Like this would be a cool idea if you can make a play that would set up the X really well and play off most of your other tiles. And so if you can like draw an I or an A or an E,
Yeah.
I like this idea if there is a spot for aeroids, but I'm not necessarily seeing that spot.
Yeah, I'm not either.
So he might be trying aeroids and yomes maybe with Za. Could that be it?
Maybe.
So yeah, that would be very cool. Aeroids and yomes with Za, because then that would force Michael to think about if the X is in the bag or not, too.
Right.
So it would be a very clever idea. Yeah, I think, but given that I think that is the only spot for aeroids on the board right now. So I think he is really thinking about my best chance of winning here is Michael not challenging Yom.
Yeah, I mean, in that position, unless you're 100% sure, it's pretty hard to challenge.
Yeah, so I mean, well, let's see what plays he'd have. So he'd have Weil through the L and Pilfer, making QI as well. Looks pretty good.
You could also play something like Wage through the G and Mung.
Yeah, that also looks good. So this will be fun though if Ori plays. I mean, he's aeroids. So Oxids, we said, scores 46. Aeroids would score a bunch too, since you're
and it keeps the X for
Z.
scoring.
Yeah, that would be 45. And so if you draw an I to the X, I'm trying to see a good spot for it. There isn't much with the I for the X, unfortunately, right now.
Yeah, you definitely do have to draw a vowel there to probably have a chance of winning the game.
Yeah, like the E or the A or the O all would
Yeah.
be like locks off the L in pilfer, locks,
Yeah.
lex,
Right.
or lock or lax. So
Mm-hmm.
all of those would be in play. I actually only see one spot after aeroids for the X, making off the L and lunkhead you could play XI. But I don't
Yeah.
actually see uh,
Yeah,
anything else that
there's
you can
not
go
really
out
much else,
with.
is there? Right, yeah.
You
Yeah,
can
I'm
play
not
like
seeing it.
axe off of the A at the bottom in
Uh-huh.
Jitta,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
Michael
gonna
also
be.
has the cool little tab hook that you mentioned earlier.
Remind me, I forgot what I was
Oh, on the
suggesting.
bottom right corner tab. You can play
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
AW. I mean, that wouldn't be a great play, but it's just fun.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, I think Ori is really. I think he's going to pull the trigger on Yomes, though,
Oh man, I
most
hope he
likely.
does.
So
Yeah, this
that
would be a
will.
great one to ask him about after the game too.
Yeah, I mean,
Like what
Michael
his
does.
thought process is in this situation.
Yeah, so Michael's lead is 76 points here. So a 45-point play. You might be right. He might just not challenge,
Yeah.
and given what we know about what Ori will draw, uh, I think.
But I think
Yeah,
even if Michael is worried about the X, even if he thinks that Ori has a pretty decent X play a lot of the time, like I think he could just outscore. Like if
yeah,
you play
exactly.
something like AWE next to Pilfer, like where is the X gonna go and score points?
Yeah, yeah, I think that's right. I am wondering if he can make some sort of setup for the X at this point. It looks really difficult, but I'm just looking at that triple letter score, 2 spots to the left of the J,
Mm-hmm.
towards the bottom of the board. Could he make some sort of play that would
Uh,
set up the X? It doesn't look
it
likely.
doesn't look great.
Yeah, but that's what I would be trying to do.
It's not going to
Like,
be able to play it in
yeah,
both directions.
yeah, like if the T weren't there, Sirdar Sirdar would be an
Mm-hmm.
idea. But it looks like
So
he's
he
going to
does
play
go with
Axel.
Axel. He doesn't try it. Okay. That's too bad. I really wanted to see Yams being paralyzed here.
Well, he could try it next turn. To be
Yeah,
fair,
he could, but then it's pretty much a free challenge.
yeah, and I guess actually Aeroids is the play
Yeah.
that goes out anyways. And yeah, I don't think there's any fives ending in S
Mm-hmm.
with those 5 letters. Roids is not a word.
Yeah.
uh,
So he already has a Wii set up. That seems probably the best play.
Yeah, so I would probably play Iota first to block Aeroids. I think Michael might have just missed Aeroids as an option.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, it is a nice 2-turn idea. I
Yeah.
think he just inverted the order.
Yeah.
So Ori is going to play Aeroids, and we will be quiet once they finish the game,
Mm-hmm.
just because if they're postponing Morteming, excuse me, we want the chat to hear.
Yeah.
So final score of 450 to 411. I guess they're going to challenge it, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, has nothing to lose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another interesting game. I really wonder what would have happened if he had tried to play Oms.
Yeah.
Like, I still don't think he would have had a chance to win the game, but it
Yeah,
just
I
would
don't
have
think
made for
so.
an interesting conversation.
Yeah, and I think if you're Ori here, if you know it wouldn't win the game anyways, you've already done this once.
Yeah,
And
might as well do it again.
well, I think he's thinking he wants to save it for
Yeah,
game
maybe.
4, possibly, if he needs it, right? He doesn't
Yeah.
want to do this every time
Yeah.
when he's losing, where in the chance where he could win with that, instead, Michael knows his book.
Right.
So I understand the caution from that perspective. Anyways, let's stop talking. So
Yeah.
keep
Okay.
here.
I had to take points. I mean, that was a huge score, so it's certainly understandable. I mean, not taking S because I had denials there, but just didn't feel it was worth risking losing a turn, especially when I was about to play a bingo and
Yeah.
Neil was winning a huge percent of the time.
No,
so.
yeah, I understand. I did that in our first game. I passed up on taxes because I was ahead. I wasn't sure of it. So.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I guess everything here is good.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, all the words are good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure every word is good.
Yep.